Thomas, you can let me know when you're ready.
You can start.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. This is Area Mays with Let's Talk About Real Estate. We're excited about today. We have two guests that's going to be attending with us. It's Marcus Greer with Safe Pest Control and Lisa White with Reedy Signing and Closing. So we're excited that they're going to be joining us today, but we want to put emphasis on to you all about real estate and generational wealth and how it benefits you and how it can be passed down to your children's. It is so important for our young people and our people to know that the importance of investing into real estate, purchasing a home, being able to use the equity out of a home, being able to pass that house down to your children's. So purchasing, investing into real estate is investing into real estate, is investing into generational wealth. And that's really important. Anyone that wants to own a home has the opportunity to own a home if they so desire. What you need to be able to purchase a home, you'll need your credit score up to be about a 620 above. You'll need some money in the bank. You need to have some good payment history on your credit report. So all those things plays a factor into purchasing a home. We do have credit counseling if someone needs credit counseling to prepare to purchase a home. Sometimes that's needed. And if so, and you want to purchase a home, then definitely get involved with credit counseling or ask us whom you may can talk with about credit counseling. The lender will ask you for your W-2s, your tax returns, your pay stub, your bank stubs. All those things are needed to get to the closing table. A lot of times people are frustrated when they're purchasing a home because the lender is asking for items and it digging deep into their business. But that's a part of the process, especially when you're getting a loan from the government, an FHA loan, and you have a variety of loans available. You have the VA loan, you have the FHA loan, you have the conventional loan, you have the USDA loan. So you have lots of loans to be able to possibly take advantage of, as well as possibly getting down payment assistance. There are some lenders that you can get a 100% conventional loan and get up to possibly $10,000 to go towards your closing costs. That almost help you to get into a house with no money. But don't ever think that you don't have any money to get into a house, because you do. You'll need money for your home inspection. You'll need money just for your reserves. You'll need money for the appraisal. So always when you're getting ready to purchase a home, be prepared. And how can you be prepared? By saving up money and being ready to to pay out items that need to be paid when it's due. Those are things to do that you can do. Finding a realtor. If you need help with finding a home or selling a home, find you a good realtor. If you like to call me, that's good. But if not, then find a realtor that's knowledgeable, that's looking out for your best interest, that's going to be working in your favor with your process. That's very important. If you're selling a home, get your house prepared to sell the house. You can always ask a realtor for a CMA. You can ask a realtor to come visit your house and see, so they can tell you what you need to do to get it prepared to sell. Right now is a good time to purchase a home. The interest rates are a little bit high, but we do see them tripling down some. So that's a really, really good thing. And then we also hope that the Federal Reserve lower the interest rate. So that's the word on the news, is that the Federal Reserve will possibly lower the interest rate. And if they do that, that would be very good for new home buyers who desire to purchase a home. Or if you got a higher interest rate, you can always refinance. And just to let you know, if you do have bought a home in the last year or two, and you did get that interest rate that was a little bit higher, maybe a 6% interest rate. If the interest rates come down to about 4% and sometime about 5.25%, check with your mortgage company and go back to the mortgage company that you currently working with, the one that you're paying the mortgage with, because you maybe can get a deal. But check with the mortgage company and see if you can refinance and see if you can lower your monthly payment. If you can save as much as $100 a month or $200 a month on paying less on your monthly mortgage payment, that's good, because you can always do something else with that extra money. So do yourself a favor. If the interest rates go down take advantage of you getting the lower interest rates to put more money into your pocket. Also, today, because we do have Safe Pest Control Solution on the phone. His name is Marcus Griff. We're going to let him tell you a little bit about his business and what he does. I can tell you that I have been completely satisfied with Marcus. I think I probably met him maybe about a year or two ago, and I actually got to know him through another realtor. So networking is very important. So he does a lot of my termite inspections for the houses that I'm selling, and he does well. He's also have done some work on my rental properties. I had a house that a tenant had an infestation of roaches, and sadly to say, but that happens. And when we know that, then we need to take advantage of what it takes to get the solution to the problem. So calling Marcus and him taking care of that issue for us was really good. I had another tenant that had a problem with ants, and that he helped to resolve that. So he's rounded in the pest solution business, and he knows his business very well. Marcus is from here, from the Mid-South. He'll tell you exactly, more about him, but he's here in the Mid-South, but he's licensed, I believe, and he'll correct me. I believe he's licensed in Mississippi and Tennessee. So he's usually, if I need him, I call him, he's on it, and he's really busy. And what impresses me is that he's a young guy that has really put his foot forward to be successful in the business, and he has done really well. So if you have any issues if you have a pest, you need a termite treatment. That's it, very important. If you need a termite treatment, if you need your house with a termite inspection, Marcus is the person to call. So I'm not going to hold long. I'm going to introduce to you all Marcus Greer. So Marcus, you can tell us about what you do, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Can you all hear me okay?
You can.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Marcus Greer. I am the owner and one of the operators of Safe Pest Solutions LLC. I have been in business now for 8 years. I have been in pest control. I was a district manager for Terminex Pest Control for 12 years. So I've been in the business as of October 1st out. It'll be 20 years for me
Okay.
in pest control. My specialty is pest control, and that's everything from ants all the way up to wildlife. We do wildlife remediation. We'll come trap, remove, and if they don't have rabies or anything, we will release them out into the wild. As of late, we've had a lot of armadillo issues digging up customers' gardens. So we'll set live traps and we'll release the armadillos out into the wild. Um, Also, I provide home termite inspections, um, and I'm licensed, believe it or not, Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, Louisiana, and Arkansas. So I'm licensed in 5 states, but I only do pest control, or my technicians do pest control in those states. I also have 2 other technicians, one in Jackson, Mississippi, and one in the Mississippi Delta that will also do termite inspections. But in the Mid-South, DeSoto County, Tate, your surrounding DeSoto County and Shelby County areas, it's usually me. I service as far as Nashville, Tennessee, myself, and as far down as Grenada, Mississippi. So if you ever need a termite inspection or anything like that, you just give me a call or send me a text. The best way to get me is to send me a text, and all I need is for you to tell me when you need it and the address and what's my access. Meaning, are you gonna be the one that lets me in? Are you gonna send me a code to get in? Or will a homeowner be there? Usually, if there's an emergency for you, like if you forgot that you needed an inspection, I can usually get it done for you same day because I understand the importance of that last letter. I'm usually the last person you need. The termite inspection is usually the last thing everyone thinks about because it varies from Mississippi to Tennessee. Sometimes the buyer has to pay for it, sometimes the seller. So things tend to get lost in translation. But if you ever find yourself in a tight, just give me a call, shoot me a text message. I'm never going to tell you no. So all you have to do is say, Marcus, I need this done. And Mrs. Mays will tell you, You just send me the information and I'll get it taken care of for you. A little bit more about my background. I'm originally from Greenwood, Mississippi. I graduated class of '98, graduated from Jackson State University with a degree in business management in 2002. I started off in the hotel business, so I worked in the hotel business from '03 until '05, and then I've been in the pest control business ever since. So there's not much that I haven't seen. There's not much that I can't do in pest control or in the real estate inspection aspect. I've pretty much seen everything from A to Z. I can identify termite damage, carpenter ant damage, your wood boring bees, and your wood boring ants and beetles. So I've seen it all pretty much. And I guess that's it.
Good, Marcus. I got a few questions, and we may have some guests online that may have some questions as well. So,
Okay.
so if you see those brown, is it the Roku spiders? Can you tell me about that?
Brown recluse spider.
Yeah.
So, people see what they think are brown recluse spiders, especially when it's hot and dry like it is now. But most of the time, especially when they say it was the size of my hand, it's usually a wolf spider. They are harmless. They actually hunt the brown recluse spiders, but the brown recluse spiders are very real and they try to stay away. If you see a brown recluse spider, he's probably trying to get away from something else because they usually stay hidden in the cracks, crevices, they hide in the attics, they may hide in the closet, but they are one of the two most harmful spiders, arachnids in the state of Mississippi. So you have the brown recluse spider, it has a fiddle shape on its back. And then you have the black widow spider, which is black in color, very shiny abdomen with a red hourglass on her belly.
Oh, wow.
So those are your two most dangerous spiders. But you see more wolf spiders than you do brown recluse spiders. But most people think they're brown recluse, but they're not. And wolf spiders are not venomous to humans.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. And another
Yes,
thing
ma'am.
that I noticed that in my tub sometime I have seen a spider in my tub. So they tell me to keep the cover over it, and that helps
Yeah.
prevent so spiders can come in different ways, right, into your house.
They can. So we think even a brand new house, we think the house is tightly sealed. There, you have to think about it. Insects don't have skeletal systems, so they can squeeze in under the smallest crack. And
Mhm.
what they when they come inside, most of the time they're either looking for food. With spiders, they're looking for water. They usually find their food on the outside, but when it's hot and dry like this, they are searching for water. That's why you see them around the bathtub. They can come in behind your plumbing access between the bathtub and the wall, and they
Mhm.
come through. They can find a crack through the drain, and that's why you see them in your bathtub.
Oh, I
But if
see.
you keep that Yes, ma'am. But if you keep that cover, and believe it or not, you can solve most of your pest control issues with exclusion, meaning just caulking cracks around the house as your house starts to age,
Mhm.
around the windows, changing door sweeps when your garage door starts to the bottom of your garage door cover starts to deteriorate. Just replace that, and that'll keep a lot of your insects out of your house.
Oh, good. That's good information to know.
Yep.
What about
Mhm.
moles? Do you treat moles if they're damaging in the yards?
Yeah, I do. I used to do a chemical treatment, but they always seem to come back. So what we've been using the last 4 or 5 years, we have these ultrasonic devices that we put in the yard, and they vibrate. They charge through the sun. They're solar powered, and they vibrate every 15 seconds. But what happens is they don't kill the mole. They push the mole from one area to the next. They push them out of your yard, and they push them in your neighbor's yard. So that's why it's important to know your neighbor, because if I can get you, your neighbor on the right and the left, I can eliminate your mold problem because it's just going to go to the other yard. But if I can treat your neighbor's yard on both sides, it's the same with mosquitoes. If I can treat you, also take care of your mosquito issues.
Okay, good, good,
So
good.
it's about being neighborly, pretty much.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
Okay. Now, what about squirrels in the attic? If someone get a
Squirrels
squirrel.
in the attic, we trap and exclude. So
Okay.
we set live traps in the attic, and we trap the squirrels. We use um, peanuts have been more successful for me than anything. So I'll trap the squirrel, and then we find the areas that they're getting in, and we caulk, seal, and exclude everything.
Oh,
And we
wow.
also one of our other services is we provide crawl space and attic insulation if you ever need it, or if you're building a house and you need the insulation in the walls, we can soundproof for you. We blow attic insulation, and we can put the pre-construction insulation in the walls for you before your electrician comes out and starts to install the electricity.
Okay, good. So tell me a little bit about more about the crawl space installation. So do
So
you,
if you have a crawl space, you know a lot of times if you have your home is off the ground, your floors are cold in the wintertime. A lot of
right,
times. That means that it's probably just ground. You don't have any you don't have a vapor barrier down there, and you don't have any temperature vents. I don't know if you've ever paid attention to the houses that have these little metal vents on the side of the house.
right.
So the best solution for that is to install the crawl space insulation in between the floor joists, which is just like the insulation that's in the attic.
Mhm.
Put you a vapor barrier down on the floor on the ground to keep your wood from rotting out as it gets older, and then install the temperature vent. So we use mechanical temperature vents. So when the temperature drops below 55 degrees, the vents close to keep the temperature regulated under the house, to keep the floors from being so cold in the wintertime. And once the temperature reaches above 55 degrees, the vents open back up. A lot of houses have pre-installed or older vents that don't open or close. They're metal vents that are on the side of the house, and they never close. So your floors are always cold, and your ground is always damp,
Oh,
which
wow.
is gonna wear your wood out after a while.
Oh, that is good information. I'm glad you mentioned
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
Oh, you
Yes,
also,
ma'am.
you mentioned that you put the insulation on the crawl space. You also put down vapor barriers as well?
Yeah, we put vapor barriers down as well because you know yourself, and the rest of you all do as well. A
Right.
lot of times, if when you do a home inspection, the home inspector may say, "Hey, this wood it has mildew or mold," so we apply a mold killer on the wood to kill all the fungus off the wood, and then we lay the vapor barrier down, and that'll help your house last. The floors will last another 20, 30 years
Oh,
after
okay.
that. And
Oh,
we always use the thick plastic, the 6 mil plastic, which is your best plastic. Don't if you ever get that work done, don't ever let them use the thin clear stuff. It does not last long, maybe a year or two. Always use 6 mil. Black is best, and it'll last throughout 20, 30 years. I know at least 20 because
okay.
I've gone back to houses 15 years later, and the integrity of that plastic is still good.
Okay, good.
Yep.
That is awesome. Now, one last question
Mhm,
from me
mhm,
is, can you tell us about the
mhm.
termite treatments? A lot of homeowners that may have houses, if they don't have a termite contract, may not know the importance of having a termite treatment or termite contract.
So in the south, in this, so from the coast is the worst up this way. We have subterranean termites here, and per acre there's anywhere between 3 to 5 colonies of termites per acre, pretty much on every piece of land in the state of Mississippi and Tennessee. In those colonies, you have anywhere from 300,000 to 3 million termites per colony. Just depends on how long that colony's been there. So when you build a house, you're supposed to get a pre-treatment done. And then after the pre-treatment, after the house is built, you're supposed to get a post-treatment, meaning there we call it a final grade. And it's required by state law in the Department of Agriculture that the termite company is supposed to come back and do a final grade. A lot of times that gets lost because people are moving in and they forget to reach out to the termite company. So you need to, when you finish your house or when you move into a house, you need to call a termite company and have them to treat your house for termites and have it under a protection plan, because termites cause more. Last year, termite companies paid out about $19 billion in the state of Mississippi and Tennessee in termite damage because people houses were treated or weren't treated properly, or they thought that they had attic, or the chemical had already expired. So the termite companies have to come in and repair that damage and retreat the home. You don't want to be stuck with doing that yourself, because these bills now, especially as much as lumber and sheetrock is, anywhere from $8,000 to $15,000 on average is what you would pay having to eat that bill on your own, as opposed to paying an $800 treatment cost up front, and then $150 renewal each year to keep the protection on your home. Your homeowner's insurance does not cover termite damage. So when you buy a house, you, just like car insurance, you need to have termite protection on your home to make sure you're not stuck with paying 8, 9, 10, $11,000 in termite damage. It's probably the second most. It's more important than you paying your mortgage, because that's the most expensive investment that you're gonna make in your life. So why not protect it by having termite treatments done and making sure that you continue the policy on your home,
Okay,
because you don't want to be stuck with it.
right, absolutely. So
It's
after,
it's very, once you move in, settle in, move all your furniture, you need to contact the termite company and say, "Hey, I need to have my home inspected, and I need to see what your options are as far as a termite plan on my house."
okay, good.
It's very necessary. Yep.
Okay, that is some very good information. We
Yes, ma'am.
appreciate that, Marcus. We have guests
Yes,
on.
ma'am.
Okay, we have
Okay.
guests online, and I have been asking questions. I want to check and see if any of the guests has any questions.
Okay.
There's one question. With new construction, what is the suggestion to check on any openings or ways one might have pests?
So so after the after so this is with new construction, what happens is, the garage door is one of the last things that's put on the house. Once you get your garage door and all your doors put on the house, and you can, and this is even before you move in, have a right before you all move in, have a pest inspection done, because you're going to have spiders that enter your home. You may have snakes that enter your home. You may have mice that enter your home. So a pest control company can come in, check that insulation in the attic, because mice leave little small tunnels in your insulation, and they can say, "Hey, you may want to take out," and they should take you with them and show you what they see. And that way, they can point out anything that the contractors missed as far as filling any cracks around windows. The door sweeps may be old. All those things a pest control professional should be able to point out to you to make sure that moving forward you don't have any issues, or your issues are being addressed before you move in and the infestation gets worse. So once those doors are put on, windows are installed, have a pest professional to come out, do a walkthrough with you, so you all can kind of see what's going on and make sure that you take care of it yourself, or the pest control professional can take care of it on site.
Okay, that was a good question.
Yep.
We'll wait and see if there's anybody else has any questions.
Is there a specific way to trap snakes if they enter the home?
Glue boards. So they make these big giant glue boards, and people don't realize it. That's actually not glue on those insect traps. We use the big giant ones, has a red dot in the middle. That's actually molasses, and molasses has a pheromone in it that attracts pests. So if you have, just say for instance, so I service a lot of the Memphis Grizzly guys on the river, and we had to go and pull a snake out of their house. I guess it was last Monday. Um, it was stuck on one of the glue boards, and I always put the glue boards there because I know there's a mice infestation. And usually, when you have a mouse infestation, um, you're gonna have a snake that follows, especially this time of year. This is spawn season for them. They're mating and babies are coming out. But glue boards is gonna be your best thing. Put a couple in the attic, put a couple on both sides of the garage door, and you should be fine. Um, and if they start to come in or try to come in, they'll get caught on those glue boards first, because they're attracted to the glue board, and all you have to do is remove them. They can't get off.
Where do you find the glue boards, the large glue? I've seen some for the mice, but I
You
haven't
can
seen bigger.
You can just, or Amazon is always on. We have to go to Memphis to get ours from the chemical store, but you can order anything off of Amazon now. So
Yeah.
you can
Okay.
order, just type in large blue boards and they'll pop up.
Okay.
Yep, and you can, and and you don't have to lay them out flat. You can fold, they fold up in triangles or rectangles, and that way a lot of people don't want to see them. So when the snake goes in, you may see the tail or something, but for the most part, you just discard it that way or call somebody to come remove it for you. Us, we can identify snakes. If it's a dangerous snake, we kill it on site. If it's a snake that's harmless, we take it just like we do any wildlife and we release it into the wild. Most of my guys aren't afraid of, and I have a young lady that works for me too, and she's probably braver than the guys.
Oh,
So
wow.
we
Yeah.
just, yeah, we just remove them and keep it moving. But all of us are from country towns, so it's not much we haven't seen.
Yeah. I
Yep,
was traveling to
yep,
Indianapolis and there was a lizard in my car and it
yep.
was terrible. I was just frightened, but my husband told me to go get some glue boards and that worked. I stayed
Yep,
at the
it,
hotel.
it does. Yep.
I stayed at the
A lot
hotel.
of my customers don't want me to use glue boards. And so let me help you all. And this is the other thing we do. So when you go to a hotel, I don't care if it's a five-star hotel or a cheap shotgun motel, you attached to, so when you walk into your room, put all of your luggage into the bathtub. Pull the sheets back from the head of your bed to check for any blood spots or little dots. Remove the headboard if you can from that wall sitting there. Make sure you don't see any little transparent insects or brownish type insects. I do a lot of bed bug services in areas that you wouldn't imagine, not just hotels, not just homes. We spend just about every night. I have a night technician, and we spend just about every night in the rooms spraying for bed bugs. We spend early mornings at movie theaters just for bed bugs. So you want to make sure that if you're traveling or if you are going out to places, different places, if you're sitting in booths at restaurants, just check your clothing. Don't get too comfortable with your clothes off, sitting them on your bed. Throw them in the dirty clothes basket. Throw them in the laundry because bed bugs don't walk in your house like a spider would. They travel on us and we bring them home and we pick them up from places that we wouldn't even imagine. And it's the same thing with German roaches. When you go to the grocery store, if you buy stuff and they're in boxes, don't leave them in boxes. Take everything out of the boxes and discard the box because the roach eggs are in the cracks and crevices of those boxes. And so when the roaches hatch out, and that's the same thing with like if you get wick or you go the ramen noodles, the macaroni and cheese, all those things roaches hide because they eat the glue. They like the glue that are on the boxes. So we bring up bed bugs and German roaches. We bring those in. They don't travel from your neighbor's house. They travel with us. So always remember that bed bugs don't just lay your clothes on the bed until you check the headboards of both beds and check the head of both beds with German roaches when you go to the grocery store. Just all these is a good example. You have to either bring your own bag or you have to buy a bag or you use a box. You put everything in the box. When you get home, you take everything out and you discard that box.
Right. Okay. That's great. I guess
Yeah,
like going to
yeah,
Aldi's or
yeah,
something like that. That's a good thing because they don't have
yeah.
yeah, and actually Sam's Club doesn't have
Sam
vaccine.
Club is the same way. Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
Yes.
Yep,
Okay.
because those boxes sit in warehouses in different places for months, weeks, days, and insects crawl in those places. And a lot of our food comes from other parts of the world, and those insects. And the reason why they call it a German roach is because the first time they saw one was when troops were coming back from Germany during the war.
Oh,
So they traveled, and they've been around since then. And bed bugs and German roaches multiply rapidly. Every egg has at least 20 babies. At least half of those are females. 21 days, those 10 will have another egg sac. So you can have an infestation pretty fast.
right.
Yep. And female bed bugs, after every blood meal, they usually feed off you between 3 and 5 5 o'clock in the morning, and every blood meal they lay eggs.
Oh, wow. That's
Yes,
interesting.
ma'am.
I'm gonna have to Google bed bugs because I don't know that I know what a bed bug look like. So I'm gonna have to Google it. But you said
Yes,
brown.
ma'am. Yeah. Yep.
I
They're
got
kind of reddish brown.
reddish
Yep. But
brown.
look them up.
Okay, I
Hmm.
will. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Do we have any
Yep.
more questions for Marcus? Lisa, are you saying?
So I am going out the country next month. Now I don't even want to go.
Just, I'm telling you, just check everything. Just
I'm
check
so
everything.
scared now. I'm
Yep.
scared. I'm scared of every
It's
critter.
Yep, it's very important that you check, especially because you have to think about in the last 20 years, we travel more now than we did previous to, previous to 2020 2000. We travel more now. We travel more now, so we're bringing more things in, and we travel outside of the country more now than we ever have. So we're bringing a lot of foreign insects into the country. And what's crazy is, so I do fumigation for the USDA, and before we send, believe it or not, Egyptian cotton comes from the Mississippi Delta. So I have to go down to the Mississippi River and fumigate the barges before we send the cotton to Egypt. And they don't want our pests, but they'll ship. We don't require the same thing in the United States that foreign other countries require. Yep. So just be careful and check everything when you get back home. Check your beds when you get to where you're going.
Okay.
Okay, but
Yep.
hold up. Wait a minute. But what I'm gonna do if I go over there? I need to make sure I'm protected. What I need to spray, what I need to take, is I always take Lysol. I spray everything down, but I know that doesn't kill things. But what am I supposed to do?
Oh, Lysol will kill everything.
Oh, it does?
Lysol will kill an insect. It does. Yes, ma'am.
A
It
bed
will.
bug?
Yep. It will. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you had to have a
Yep.
special
It
treatment
will.
for bed bugs, but whenever I go to hotels,
You
I
you
always
you
spray.
do. Yep. But if you find bed bugs in your bedroom, you need to ask for a new room
Oh, well,
by the
yeah,
floor.
yeah, yeah. I will for sure. But I'm just like, now I'm just so paranoid. I'll probably wake up in the middle of the night itching. But okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for that information.
Yes, ma'am.
That's some very good information, Marcus. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So Marcus, you want to give them your phone number and then we can put it in the chat as well and just ask them to call.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So my direct line is 601-660-4110. My email address is marcus.spsllc@gmail.com. And like I said before, if you need a termite inspection, all you have to do is text me the information and I'll get there. And make sure you give me your email address and everything as well, because I scan it in while I'm at the on site, and I'll email it to you as soon as I'm done.
Okay, that is very, very, very good information, Marcus. We appreciate you attending the meeting with us today. You've given us a lot of information. I know you're out there in the field working, but if anyone
Yes,
needs
ma'am.
pest control services, be sure to call Marcus Greer. His phone number is in the
Thank
chat.
you.
And then if you have any questions, you got his number. You can call him and he'll get you answers.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
All right, sure. We appreciate
All
you.
right.
Okay. All right. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye. Okay, everyone. Thank you all so much for staying online with us. Now we have Lisa White with Reedy's signing and closing. Lisa is one of my favorite people. She takes care of business. She's about business. She's a Christian lady, and she is going to tell you more about what is required when you're purchasing a home or in the process of a home, with about owner title policies, title searches, and all the legalities that maybe you may have some questions about. So we're going to ask Lisa to take the mic now, and she'll discuss some things with us about her services. And she's licensed. I know she's licensed in Mississippi and Tennessee. She may be licensed in other areas too, so she'll let you all know. Okay, Lisa, thank you for being here with us.
Good morning, everyone. I'm excited always to be here on this platform to speak with you all about title, real estate transactions, and all of that. Ready Signing and Closing Services is a full service title company. We do title searches, we do title insurance, we do quick claim deeds. These, of course, these are trust warranty deeds, affidavits of heirship, anything that has to do with real estate and real estate properties. That's what we do here. Our main thing is that we do real estate closes. We work with realtors, we work with lenders, we work with builders, we work with investors. We do residential as well as commercial land. We do all of those type of closings. So our job basically is when someone sends us a contract, we have to, of course, input all that information, but we have to make sure that we order title work to ensure that we have a clear and marketable title, that this property can be sold and transferred with clear title. What do you mean clear title? Clear title means just because we have a contract doesn't mean that we say it's ready to close. Once we do our due diligence as far as doing a title search on that property, if there are any payoffs, mortgages, liens, bankruptcy, judgments, child support, anything against a property has to be cleared up. With that being said, when I say against the property, that means the seller, not the buyer yet. We haven't got to the buyer side yet. But if it's something on title that a property that a seller is trying to sell, then we have to make sure we do our due diligence and clear up everything on that property to make sure that it is insurable, because you want to be able to get insurance. I tell people all the time, if you can get home insurance on your car, your vehicle, you always want to get owner's insurance policy on a big purchase like this. I've seen cases where people have been advised by people that really don't know this industry well, or even some that know the industry, that you don't need an owner's insurance policy. I totally disagree with that. That is something that I feel like it's negligence to me. Now, others may not feel that way, to tell someone that they don't need title insurance, because title insurance covers you if there are any liens or encumbrances or anything against that property. What you have to think about is that title is broad. We have people that do title searches, so there could be human error. And then not just that, in some of these counties, rural areas and small counties, you have to physically go and look through docs to do a title search. And when you're looking through something may be missing or something may not have been added. And then once we do that title search and we get a chain of title, we have to review that and do an opinion. So the attorney does a title opinion to say, this is what I've seen on title. This is what I recommend as far as the requirements. This is what is needed to clear up title to ensure that we have good title policy. Sometimes we don't have anything on title, but sometimes there is. If it's a deed of trust out there, which means that person has a mortgage, we have to make sure that we get a payoff to close that file out. If it's a judgment against the seller, we have to get a payoff. If it's a lien, if it's a tax sale, if it's IRS liens, anything against that property, we have to get a payoff, and has to be paid off during the closing. So that's why I encourage title insurance to everyone, because if your lender is going to get a title insurance, why wouldn't you get a title insurance? So it tells you how important title insurance is, that your lender's not going to take a risk just because you've done a title search and it may not have anything on there. They know I'm giving you a loan for $200,000, $300,000. I want to make sure that it's insured. So if something come back on that title, if it's a claim filed against that title, guess what? It's not on me as the lender, because I got a title insurance policy. But if the title company missed it, guess what? The claim has to be filed against their title insurance, because we're the one who's insuring title. So that's what we do at Ready Sign and Closing Services. And when it's the buyer side, we not only just search the seller's name, we search the buyer's name. And if something is against the buyer's name, that's going to come up on title if it's a judgment or lien or anything, or if a seller or buyer has a bankruptcy. The seller has to get permission to sell the property if a bankruptcy showed up on title. If a buyer has a bankruptcy, the buyer has to get permission to purchase a property. So there are things that we have to do to clear up title. It's just not cut and dry. It's just not easy when a person says, well, I have a bankruptcy. Okay, well, you have to go to your bankruptcy attorney and tell them submit permission to sell through the judge. You have to go to the bankruptcy attorney to ask them, can I purchase a property? So those things have to be done. That's a title company. Those are the things that we ensure is done, because we cannot give a title policy to someone that has a bankruptcy. We can't even close the deal if it's a bankruptcy on there without permission to sell. If someone has a bankruptcy, we can't even give you a title policy if you have a bankruptcy, because you are not clear to purchase that property. So we won't even do that closing. So those are the things that we do with real estate and title. We have things on title, just like I had a call today. Somebody wanted to just do a quick claim deed. I always advise, do a title search. Don't just let somebody quick claim their property to you, because what we think is when we quick claim something, I had a lien against my property or a judgment or whatever, so I'm gonna quick claim it and give it to Lisa. You're not gonna give it to Lisa, because Lisa's gonna do a title search, because people think if I quick claim my property, I'm not responsible for what was on that title. Yes, you are. A quick claim deed does not transfer with clear title. A quick claim deed is just a transfer of ownership that says I'm transferring this name out of my name to your name, but that doesn't warrant anything. So just because they transferred it from their name to my name and they had judgments, liens, bankruptcy, guess what? All of that is still attached to the property. That quick claim deed does not remove anything that's off of the property, because you owned it. It was attached to anything that you own. And so a quick claim deed does not clear that up. But a lot of people think, well, I gave that property to someone else. Or we've had people to say, well, the property was quick claimed to me. That's not my lien. Well, guess what? It's on this property. It may not be your lien, but it's attached to this property because it was attached to the name of the person that owned the property. So today I had one just like that, where it was heir property, and they quit claimed it to some of the heirs. One of the heirs have a bankruptcy. So guess what? Even though that was not their property that they lived in, they inherited their property, and they cannot just sell a property, because now you got interest in a property. So guess what? That's an asset. So that's money. So therefore, we have to make sure that you still get permission to sell in the bankruptcy courts. So it's a lot of things that we have to go through in the title company. We just don't accept contracts. We have to work those files. We have to make sure that we insure those files. We work with the lenders. Once we get a contract, if the lender is involved, we have to work with the lender to get a title search, a lender's title request, so we can understand all the things that they need from us, because the lender requires a closing protection letter, which means they're protected as well. So it's quite a few steps that we have to take in a title, in our office. And we do land, we close on land deals, but we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do a title search. On commercial deals, a little bit more extensive because it's a commercial property, but we still do a title search. Everything has to be clear on title before we can close anything. But we love working with realtors. We love working with lenders. We love working with investors. We just work with individuals. We do a lot of quick claim deeds because people are transferring title that way. Like if it's a daughter, a mother-daughter, the mother want to get a property to the daughter, we'll do the quick claim deed for them. And however, again, as I said, I always advise to get a title search, so you can understand. And sometimes they do the title search and they see that it's something against the property, and they really don't care because they want to own a property. It's family property, and I guess they're not going to sell it, so they'll leave it to whoever later on to clear up all of those things. But that's what we do at Ready Sign and Close. We do real estate closings, we do refinances, we do purchases again, we do anything that has to do with real estate, because we are a full-fledged title company. I brag on my staff. I have an amazing staff. I'm very big on customer service. I'm very big on responding via email or phone conversation, whatever we have to do. But I'm big on customer service. I'm a very customer friendly office because every file in this office is important to us. If it's $5,000 or $500,000, it's going to get the same work. It's going to get the same respect because every file is important. It doesn't matter that, it's $5,000. But what I will say, most of the smaller transactions are a lot more work for some reason. I don't know why, but they are a lot more work because sometimes it's been properties inherited, or they bought it at tax sales, or they got it some kind of way. So but it's a lot of work, but guess what? We just smile and get the work done. So pretty much that's what we do at Ready Sign and Closing Service. We're a full service title company, everything real estate. That's what I'm gonna say we do. Everything real estate as far as on the title side. Purchases, selling, refinance, all of that. That's what we do.
That's very good. And I agree with you. Title searches are so important. I know a guy that had bought a investment property and has put hundreds of thousands of dollars into this property and did not get a title search. So it's nothing that he can do with this property, and it is devastating to him. So a title search is very important. And another thing that I had another guy, he's an investor. He called me, he said, why do I need a closer to close my transaction? I'm paying cash and I'm buying this property. I said, because you don't know what the person that you buying it from, what if they had any liens or judgments that's gonna come with that property. So liens and judgments transfer with the property if they're not corrected. Is that right?
Correct. And so a real estate transaction, the best real estate transaction is transferred to us is via warranty deed, special warranty deed, but quick claim deed, because that's just a quick claim deed. You're just transferring your ownership. But a real estate transaction needs to be transferred via warranty deed. So you can be ensured that there's nothing on this property, that is a clear policy. And even with a warranty deed, you don't have to get title insurance, but there is no way that I would buy anything again without title insurance. But the best way to transfer a title is with a warranty deed. Quick claim deed is just a quick transfer of ownership for whatever reasons you need to transfer it for.
Right. And I agree with you. I would never buy any real estate without on a title policy either, because it can be devastating. You put your money, you invest your money into whatever you're buying, and then at the end, it could be very devastating if there's some liens or judgments or some heirs or someone that has interest in their property, and you got to go through legalities. So I totally agree. That can be very devastating, very devastating. So a judgment can transfer, whether it be the seller or the buyer. A judgment has to be cleared up before you can transfer real estate. Is that correct?
Correct. So if it's a seller side, anything on the seller side has to be paid at closing. It has to be cleared up at closing or prior to closing. It has to be cleared up. Now on buyer side, it's not always the case, because if it's not on credit, they didn't put it on their credit report, it doesn't necessarily show up on the commitment. So it just really depends, but one thing about it, if you have a judgment and you're purchasing a property, it's going to attach to your property as soon as you purchase it. So if it's not paid, it's going to be attached to your property. So you can never sell the property, do anything till it's paid.
Right. And that's what I was referring to, that it can be attached to that property and you can have issues with that.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's really, 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 really good information. We're going to check and see if anyone has any questions for Lisa. Lisa, I'm so glad you're taking your time out your busy schedule today to talk with us. So we really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, sure. Now, I did see somewhere in the chat that someone did ask for your website. Do you have a website?
Are they asking me or are they asking Marcus? I saw that.
I thought they was asking you. Was it not asking you?
Well, I put it in here.
Okay, yes. And then also let them know your contact phone numbers, how they can reach you. And
that's what I'm putting in here now.
Now, Lisa, are you licensed in Mississippi and Tennessee? Or
yes, we are in Mississippi and Tennessee. We do all of Tennessee closings, all of Mississippi closings. I do closings in Grenada, Batesville, everywhere, as well as all of Tennessee. I go to Nashville. I mean, we do all of it.
Oh, wow, that's good. And I can tell you, Lisa will travel for you. So if you need her to travel a little distance, she don't mind it.
Exactly. I do not.
Yeah. We want to see if anyone online has any questions. Okay. If there's no questions, Lisa, we really appreciate you tuning in and being here for us today.
Thank you so much.
Speaking to the audience, we really appreciate that. Okay.
Awesome sauce. And before I leave, I want to say this one thing to whoever's online. If you have family member, elderly family member, anybody, please make sure that their affairs and business is in order, because we're having a lot of issues that we see on title where people are dying without wills. And because of that, they're dying intestate, and it's a lot of things have to be done. You have to do affidavits of heirship. You have to do a lot of things to clear up those titles. And then even if you do affidavit of heirship and one of the siblings is deceased, then we have to do affidavits of heirship on that person. So have some conversations to find out what's going on in your families with the grandmother, with the mother, with the auntie or sisters, to know if they have their business in place, because they could not, in those cases where you have elderly people, older people, and if they're in their right mind and you're the only sibling, they can go ahead and quit claim their property to you, so it won't be no issues, or add you to their title if there's not a will in place. We can make sure we have those things taken care of, because we don't want grandmama and mama to be losing houses because taxes aren't paid or different things hadn't been done, because we weren't involved in their business. Because a lot of our elderly people are losing houses in tax sales. it behooves me, it angers me, because we should not be losing properties in tax sales, you know, when those properties have been in our family for a while. So please have conversations with your family members to find out, you know, if their affairs are in order.
Right. And you know, we hear a lot about titles, people fraud, someone taking someone's house or something through fraud, changing
Yes.
the. Have you experienced or seen much of that?
Yeah, we do see that. It's a lot of people quit claiming property into their name. So we've studied fraudulent deeds, and when we do title searches, that's the reason why we do title searches. Because our underwriter has, when they send us a search, they say this deed look fraud. The one I got today with all those affidavits, airship, was a long message, and they said that this notary acknowledgement is correct, which it wasn't. It had a wrong name in it. Then it also said this quick, and this was on a quit claim deed, and it said this quit claim deed was signed a year before it was recorded, and the person is deceased and all that. So it's like we see all of those things, and so when those things are done fraudulently or quit claim deeds or even in error, we cannot do anything. We can't transfer the title. We have to clear up all those things and go back to affidavits of heirships and who really own the property when everybody's deceased.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
another thing is that what happens when there's heirs to someone who has passed away and they want to sell the property, but they can't get in contact with everyone that's involved. Do they put something in the newspaper, or what is the process?
So they would really have to try to find them, but in some cases, because we've had cases where 5 heirs may want to sign and 1 or 2 don't. So it's a docket. You can petition. It's called petition to partition. You can petition the courts to sell their property, and then their monies will be held in the courts until everything is resolved or whatever.
Oh, I see. And then what happens if they don't ever come back to get the money? It just stays there in the court. Is
I
that
guess it
something?
may stay with the state or something. I'm not sure. You know how they have enough money with the state or whatever. So yeah, I'm not sure how it goes after that.
Right. Okay, then. And I guess that's a little bit irrelevant as long as they follow the process.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. All
All
right.
right.
Yes. Does anyone else have any questions before Lisa get off? Okay.
Well,
All
thank you all so much for your time. I appreciate it, Aria.
right. Thank you, Lisa. We may have you come back in the next few months, so we appreciate it. Okay.
Awesome sauce. All right. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, well, thank you so much for tuning in with Let's Talk with about Real Estate with Area Mays. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. My phone number is 901-335-9324. Again, that's 901-335-9324. And I'm always available for you if you need me if you need